who's going to come and do it? My big brother, Yeshua. He's going to make, when everyone is in New Jerusalem and all of it's done, everyone's going to live according to the Hebrew laws. And we're not going to mix with them still. Christ ain't going to say, okay, everybody just go ahead and mix. No, that's the same thing that we're doing, that we're supposed to be doing from the beginning, we're going to be doing in the future. And I'm going to show you in a minute that it's only Hebrews. It ain't going to be all this, but let's keep going. Read, man. Keep finish reading.
Dio also says, as the dean there quotes him, from book 36.37, that country is also called Judea, and the people Jews. And this name.
Yeah, you know why they call them Jews, because these people was pretty much keeping the customs of the Hebrews. Read.
And this name is given also to...
Right here.
Okay, as many others as embraced their religion.
As many others that did what?
They embraced their religion.
Why he didn't read that? Read it again. As many as that did what?
As this name is given also to as many others as embraced their religion.
So if you embrace the religion and the culture of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the people by blood, they were calling you what? Jews. Same thing we read in Galatians and Romans. Keep going, read.
Though of other nations, but then upon what foundation so good a governor as Hyrcanus took upon him to compel those Idumeans either to become Jews or to leave the country.
So say leave. Either you keep the customs or you leave. Why? Because he had to keep the true people under bondage. The Romans had to, so they used a half-breed who wasn't even considered a Hebrew at all, because they were put away hundreds of years, the mixed ones, but the Romans was using these people, or they were using the mixed ones as kings, like Herod and everybody else who came after, to oppress the real people. It was a setup. But yes, I'm going to show you too that yes, there was some devoted Edomites who fought with us, but they died. Think about it. In America as of today, matter of fact, we ain't got to go, we can go in the 60s. What happened to the white people who marched with us? Didn't they also get dog sicked on them? Wasn't they also killed? What about the young kids from Chicago who went down to Mississippi? Wasn't it like one black kid and 3 white boys? Wasn't they killed, found dead too? Come on now. It's no different, man. There's nothing new under the sun. But if you have no understanding of the culture, you're going to be lost, and you're going to lead people wrong. And then you have to pay for that. All right, now let's get more understanding. We're almost done, man. Time is it? Go back. Let me show you what this brother missed, man. Go back to 351. We're going to go to 8, book 13, 8, and we're going to start at paragraph 8, but we're going to start at paragraph 1, I'm sorry, chapter 8, paragraph 1, and we're going to start all the way over on the other side of the page at 243. You see right here. Yep. Read that.
So those that were at the gates received the sacrifice.
Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go back before where he started reading from. We're going to give you understanding. That's like, I can't read a book and start at chapter. It got 36 chapters, and I started at chapter 29. I'm not going to get full understanding of what I'm reading. So let's go back and read. Let's go read.
So those that were at the gates received the sacrifices from those that brought them and led them to the temple. Antiochus, the meanwhile feasting his army.
Antiochus was a brother. He was also a half-breed. So he wasn't a brother. I mean, he was a half-breed. He wasn't being considered a Hebrew. He would have been put away. He was supposed to have been put away. But the Romans, again, doing what? They putting half-breeds into power to control the Hebrews, the dark ones, the ones who were not mixing. Okay, keep going, read.
Which was a quite different conduct from Antiochus Epiphanes, who, when he had taken the city, offered swine upon the altar.
You see that? You see what he's doing? The Romans put these people in place, man, to keep the people under bondage, man. It's right here. But if you don't know what you're reading, you're going to fall for anything. Keep going, read.
And sprinkled the temple with the broth of their flesh.
Woo, now you know the Most High was real upset about that. Keep going, read.
In order to violate the laws of the Jews.
Read.
And the religion they derived from their forefathers.
Read.
For which reason our nation made war with him, and would never be reconciled to him.
Read.
But before this Antiochus, all men called him Antiochus the Pious.
Right.
For the great zeal he had about religion.
So you know he knew what he was doing. If he had great zeal about religion, I mean he studied religion to the T. He knew what he was doing. He was defiling them. So if he's defiling them, and the Hebrews are under him, the real Hebrews, not no mixed breed, posing as kings, what's going to happen? Keep going, read.
Accordingly, Hyrcanus took this moderation of his kindly.
Did what?
He took his moderation kindly.
See that? Keep going, read.
And when he understood how religious he was towards the deity, he sent an ambassadors to him, and desired that he would restore the settlements they received from their forefathers.
You see this garbage going on? Like they got two half-breeds working together. To keep what? Come on, man. If he was a real Jew, he would have like, yo, what are you doing? He need to be killed for that. He's sprinkling it's called with swine. Read.
So, and desired that he would restore the settlements that they received from their forefathers. So he rejected the counsel of those that would have him utterly destroy the nation.
Read.
By reason of their way of living, which was to others unsociable, and did not regard what they said. But being persuaded that all that they did was out of a religious mind, he answered the ambassadors that if the besieged would deliver up their arms and pay tribute to Joppa and the other cities which bordered upon Judea.
Now remember we read about Joppa. You can go into the scriptures about that. Read. Because we know we're dealing with Hebrews teaching the Gentiles. Keep going, read.
And amid a garrison of his, on these terms he would make war against them no longer.
See that? When in the olden days they would have made war. But we have Romans controlling half blood Hebrews, man. Keep going, read. 247.
But the Jews, although they were content with the other conditions, did not agree to omit the garrison.
That's the real ones, read.
Because they could not associate with other people.
They can do what?
They could not associate with other people.
They wasn't associating with the half-breeds. Keep going, read.
Nor converse with them.
Read.
Yet were they willing, instead of the omission of the garrison, to give him hostages.
Keep going, read.
And 500 talents of silver, of which they paid down 300.
Skip down to 4 real quick.
But Hyrcanus opened the sepulchre of David, who excelled all other kings in riches, and took out of it 300 talents. He was also the first of the Jews that, relying on this wealth, maintained foreign troops. There was also a league of friendship.
There was what?
There was also a league of friendship and mutual assistance made between them.
Now, this is your first United Nations. Remember Psalms 83. Let's go there real quick. Now let's go there. Use your league. Before they used United Nations, there was the League of Nations. All nations gathered together. We're going to read about that. Psalms 83.
Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and not be still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
We're reading that right now. Keep going, read.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now you see why the pork was put over the table, why they sacrificed pork. They was trying to destroy the residue of Israel. Now you see what they're doing, right? It's clear to you. Keep going, read.
For they have consulted together with one consent,
This is that lead. Read.
that they are confederate against thee.
Read.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Who? Read.
and the Israelites
Read.
of Moab,
Read.
and the Hagarenes,
Read.
Jebel,
Uh-huh.
and Ammon,
Uh-huh.
and the Amalek,
Keep going.
the Philistinites,
Keep going.
Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them.
Now you're getting to understand. Stop right there. Go back and read where it says there was what? There was also we.
There was also a league of friendship and mutual assistance made between them, upon which Hyrcanus admitted him into the city,
And did what?
and furnished him with whatsoever his army wanted in great plenty, and with great generosity,
Read.
and marched along with him when he made an expedition against the Parthians,
Uh-huh.
of which Nicholas of Damascus is a witness for us, who in his history writes thus:
Read.
when Antiochus had erected a trophy at the river Lycus upon his conquest of Endates, the general of the Parthians, he stayed there 2 days. It was at the desire of Hyrcanus, the Jew,
They're still calling him a Jew. Keep going, read.
because it was such a festival derived to them from their forefathers, whereupon the law of the Jews did not allow them to travel.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to go into that and show you what was going on, okay? Where it was error went. There was error, much error. Alright? We're going to go into one more thing and then we're done. What time is it? We got 15 minutes. We're going to break down after that. Let's go to Josephus 13, Antiquities of the Jews, 13, 11, and start over what? Now you remember that this brother Henricius is what? He would have been put away years ago. He was set up by the Romans over Israel, over the true Hebrew, to keep them sinning. Read.
Now when their father Hyrcanus was dead, the eldest son Aristobulus,
Which was what? He most definitely been put away, because he was really mixed. Keep going, read.
intending to change the government into a kingdom, for so he resolved to do. First of all, put a diadem on his head. 481 years and 3 months after the people had been delivered from the Babylonian slavery.
So now we're going to show you that from the Babylonian, this how long it's been. Keep going, read.
And were returned to their own country again. This Aristobulus loved his next brother Antigonus and treated him as his equal.
Why do they have, have you ever wondered why they have Greek names, the Romans names? Why? You notice that? Because they were governed, they were keeping, although they were keeping the real Hebrews in bondage, they were secretly cooperating with the Romans, because they were pretty much wasn't even Hebrews. They were mixed. They were mutts. They would have been put away again. They under the Roman. Remember, Christ was born. He was under the Roman. It was under the Roman Empire. These people are still under the Roman Empire. Now it's come up 70 A.D. and you're understanding what's going on right now. You have the fake Hebrews, and at the time the Zionists were still controlling the Roman Empire. It was influencing them. They put these people in power to do what? To run the true Hebrews that were left into ground. And then you know what happened? Keep going. We're going to stop in a minute.
This Aristobulus loved his next brother Antigonus and treated him as equal, but the others he held in bonds. He also cast his mother into prison.
You see that?
Because she disputed the government with him.
Why was he cast his mother into bond? Could it be because she was a real Hebrew?